to see you again. I'm counting the seconds till then, 'cause I can't get enough of the time that we spent together.
Good morning, welcome back to Traveling Cat Photos. I'm Kat. Today we continue our exploration of Yellowstone National Park, and then we'll head on to Missoula, and then we have Glacier National Park next. But let me show you the view we have today. Our second day in Yellowstone, we re-entered the West Gate as well as Wyoming. If you missed the first day, I'll make sure to link it at the end of the video so you can see how amazing South Yellowstone and Grand Teton National Parks were. We had to stop along the beautiful Madison River and soak up the views on our way. The Madison River travels 19 miles through Yellowstone National Park before flowing to Hebgen Lake towards Ennis, Montana. It continues northwest from there and finally to the Missouri River. With the merganser ducks and ice chunks floating in the river, it definitely looked cold. Maybe those geese have the right idea. Tip for you, the bison are everywhere in Yellowstone, so look down at your feet. Bison droppings are everywhere too. But the morning was all about the bears. Seeing this mama grizzly and her babies was amazing, but it was the people that will always make me remember this moment. Photographer with lenses as long as their arms saw me and my small lens and moved me to the front so I could get these photos. It was just an amazing moment of community that I will never forget. After the bears, it was on to the Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone. As with the Grand Canyon in Arizona, you will never forget this place once you've seen it in person. The dramatic colors, textures, and of course, the Great Yellowstone Falls, which tumble down the rock face for more than 300 feet, will overwhelm and capture your heart. The canyon is over 1,000 feet deep, and the stone you see is rhyolite. The Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone runs 20 miles and at its widest is 4,000 feet wide. There are several places to view the upper and lower falls, so you can see them from many different viewpoints. It was freezing and pelting snow on the lookout point, but we were so happy to be standing there and looking at this. From there, we turned north and headed for Mammoth Hot Springs and stopped off at Willow Park hoping to see moose. We didn't find moose, but we did find moose tracks. We have heard that if you're here around dawn, you will have a good chance of seeing moose at the edges of the river. I think Harry was just dreaming of what fishing could be done when we come back. Golden Gate Canyon runs between Mammoth Hot Springs and Yellowstone Plateau and is the gateway to the interior of the park. It's called Golden Gate Canyon not just as an entrance name, but also because the canyon walls take on a golden-orange appearance due to the colored lichen that cling to it. Now, tip for you, we missed the small falls that are here because we didn't know about them. The very first pullout has a 47-foot falls to the far right of it. We parked in the second pullout and didn't walk back far enough to even know the falls were there. Now we know. If you're having a good time, please do the YouTube 3-step. Click that like button, comment below if you've ever seen those falls at Golden Gate Canyon, and then if you haven't already, click on that red subscribe button. It's all free to do and helps us out so much. We started off with the Upper Mammoth Terraces where the views are truly breathtaking. We also saw this guy. These are very dangerous places to walk. In fact, a foot was found in a geyser this week. But that guy thought it was safe to walk out there too. Don't be that guy. We stayed in our car and enjoyed the formations like this one. Walking through this area on the boardwalks or driving the loop is sort of like a Tim Burton movie. There are familiar looking trees, but then you notice some very strangely formed ones. This is due to the water and minerals of this area. It can lead to trees like that, as well as areas that seem like you're on another planet. Angel Terrace is one of those places, and an absolute favorite of mine because it doesn't look real. We found elk at the lower terraces right next to the parking lot. It's a short walk around the boardwalk to the amazing formations of Palmetto Spring, Devil's Thumb, and Liberty Cap. When I think of Yellowstone, I often think of the Mammoth Hot Springs. They are simply just amazing to see in person. In the Mammoth area, the hot carbonic acid solution dissolves large quantities of limestone on its way up through the rock layers to the hot springs on the surface and dissolves the calcium carbonate. This deposits the calcite that creates the travertine terraces and the amazing formations you see here. They are all formations and waterfalls you will not see anywhere else in the park. There is plenty to see and do in Mammoth Hot Springs, including exploring historic Fort Yellowstone, visiting the Albright Visitor Center, and you can also grab a bite to eat here or even stay in the Mammoth Hotel and Cabins. We were on our way to Gardner for lunch before heading to our hotel for the night, nearer to Glacier National Park. As we entered the beautiful Lamar Valley, we had no idea that just 1 month later, this terrain would be changed forever due to a massive flash flood as the Gardner River overflowed its banks with such force that it took out the roads in several locations and isolating the town of Gardner. Restoration has begun and the park was only completely closed for a few weeks, and they have been able to provide a workaround for the crews that hope to restore full access by October. The full restoration isn't expected to be completed for a couple of years. Having seen this beautiful place before the flood, it hurt our hearts to see the footage of the devastation. But it was the water that made us stop at a pullout that no longer exists. I wanted to see the rapids, and Harry caught a glimpse of the sign for the 45th parallel. He also spotted a young elk behind the trees on the other side of the river. I love the velvety antlers, but the rushing water really was captivating. The views were just stunning. We made our way to the Roosevelt Arch, the northwest entrance to Yellowstone. There is plenty of parking available there, so you can park and explore it. The partially completed arch was dedicated by Theodore Roosevelt, who laid the cornerstone in 1903. It was fun to explore it. We enjoyed the views and took our selfie. We found pronghorn antelope on our way into Gardner for lunch at the charming Wonderland Cafe. The food was so good. I had the best cup of coffee I had the entire trip there, and the people were truly wonderful. We look forward to returning and exploring this area. If you are in the area, please do stop by this town. Help them out with your tourist dollars so they can get past this natural disaster. So here we are at the Roosevelt Arch, which is the northern entrance of Yellowstone National Park. This is the end of our journey for us this trip, but there is still so much more to explore.
Had a lovely time in Yellowstone for the past 2 days. I think part of the, I don't know, the mystique, the magic, what I liked best, I couldn't say one thing or, a point of interest, but just seeing all the wildlife. I mean, we saw fox, bison,
pronghorn antelope,
elk. I mean, it's just been incredible. So it's a fantastic place to visit. I know why so many people come here now, and we'll be back again.
All right, everybody, safe travels, take care, and we'll see you next time. After spotting an eagle up in the tree, we also spotted this tower. It's actually the Anaconda smokestack and is 585 feet tall and is a remnant of the Anaconda Copper Company. We continued on to Missoula and ended our day at Cracker Barrel for dinner. Thank you for joining us as we explored Yellowstone. Next up is Glacier National Park, and we have some fun surprises coming up for you. So make sure to subscribe and follow along.